Okay, let's dive in. We all know that feeling, right? That inner voice.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's quiet, maybe it's loud, saying, I'm not ready yet, or I just don't have enough, maybe enough experience, enough money.
Right. Or even I couldn't handle that kind of success anyway. It's this sense of limitation. Very
Yeah.
common.
Exactly. It feels like this friction whenever we try to do something big, something meaningful.
And the usual advice is, well, it's often about grinding harder,
Yeah.
changing yourself, forcing it.
Yeah, becoming someone else almost. Like you need a total personality rewrite.
Yeah.
You get what you want.
But the perspectives we've looked at suggest something, well, fundamentally different and frankly easier.
Easier sounds good. So what's the core idea?
It's not about changing who you are. It's about changing who you identify as. That's the shift.
Okay, identify as. So moving from struggle to alignment.
Precisely. The struggle itself is just a symptom. It comes from identifying with the wrong part of yourself.
Which part is that? The struggling part.
That's your conscious mind, the everyday thinking mind. It's designed to spot problems, see limits, keep you safe based on past data. It feels small. It feels weak sometimes.
That's the administrator you mentioned, the cautious one.
Exactly. But it's operating from a really narrow viewpoint. It's like looking at the world through a keyhole.
So this small me, the one that doubts, the one that feels like it's pushing a boulder uphill,
Yeah.
that's not the whole picture.
Not even close. That's the huge realization here. That feeling of being small, inadequate. It's real, but it's based on identifying with only a tiny fraction of your actual capacity.
A tiny fraction. Wow. Okay, so let's unpack that. You mentioned some specific numbers, like a percentage breakdown of the mind.
Yeah, the model is pretty stark when you see it laid out. That conscious, logical, doubting mind, the one doing the worrying and filtering, that's estimated to be about 3% of your total mental operating system.
3%. Seriously?
Yeah.
That's it.
Just 3%. Think of
Right.
it like the screen on your computer. It shows you what's active right now, helps you interact day to day, but it's not the processor, not the hard drive, not the network connection.
Okay. It's necessary, but limited. Designed to manage the status quo, maybe avoid danger based on past experiences. Scarcity focused.
That's its job, essentially. Maintain stability based on what it already knows.
Yeah. So if that's only 3%, what's the other 97% doing? That's a huge amount of power just sitting there.
That's where your true power lies. It's the subconscious and the superconscious mind. And it's important to kind of see them distinctly.
Okay, break that down for us. Subconscious versus superconscious.
Right. So the subconscious, that's like the hard drive. It stores all your habits, your memories, your beliefs. Crucially, it holds the programming that reinforces that I am small, feeling from the 3%.
So the old evidence lives there.
It does. But it's also the engine for automatic behavior. It takes instructions very quickly, very powerfully once they get in.
Okay, and the superconscious.
That's the network connection. That's the part of you that's already connected to, well, everything, the universe, the field of potential, whatever you want to call it. It operates from total certainty, infinite knowing. It already knows how to create, how to attract, how to manifest without any struggle at all.
That's a really critical difference. We tend to just say subconscious for everything below the surface.
We do, but when you want to change a habit, you're often wrestling with old subconscious programming. When you want to manifest something truly new, something big, you need to tap into that superconscious connection, that 97%.
So the big mistake we make is letting the little fearful 3% run the entire show.
That's it, exactly. We try to force things using willpower and logic alone. It's like trying to build a skyscraper with a tiny hand shovel.
While a giant bulldozer, the 97% is sitting right there, engine running.
Perfect analogy. It's ready and waiting, effortlessly capable of handling any scale of desire.
But hang on, that 3%, its job is logic, safety, filtering, reality. If we just bypass it, don't we risk becoming, I don't know, reckless, delusional? Doesn't that conscious filter serve a purpose?
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't disappear. Its role changes massively.
How so?
Instead of being the fearful dictator, calling all the shots based on limitation, it becomes more like an appreciative administrator.
Okay.
When you start identifying with the 97%, the larger self, the conscious mind, starts taking its orders from that place, from certainty, from abundance, so it just executes the plan. The internal debate, the fear-based filtering, it just doesn't happen in the same way because the decision, the knowing, comes from a much higher, more certain level.
Wow. Okay. So the struggle really is just a symptom of identifying with the wrong part.
Completely.
And when you make that shift, when you recognize, okay, this larger connected self is actually me,
Yeah.
the whole foundation changes. And the research suggests this isn't gradual, it's instant.
That's the really mind-bending part. It is instantaneous. The shift in your perception, your baseline reality, happens the moment you switch identification.
So you don't need like a year of hard work before things start feeling easier.
No, think about scarcity versus abundance. If
Yeah.
you're stuck in the 3%, maybe asking for a raise feels terrifying, high stakes,
Hmm.
full of potential failure, right?
Yeah.
Because that 3% is wired for lack.
Right. Feels like you have to prove yourself, justify everything. It's exhausting.
Or shift your identity.
Mm.
Know yourself as the 97%. The self that understands abundance is just how things are. Suddenly, that same conversation about a raise, it's just an administrative task, a natural transaction.
The fear just drops away.
The resistance dissolves because the part of you that was generating the fear, the 3%, isn't driving the bus anymore. What felt incredibly difficult a moment ago now feels, well, natural,
Hmm.
simple.
So practical things like finding great opportunities seemingly out of nowhere, or attracting relationships that just work without drama, or even making more money, they get easier not because the world changes, but because we change internally. The friction is gone.
They flow. Because the greater self, that 97%, doesn't see size or scale as an obstacle. This is so key.
Say more about that.
To your true larger self, there is literally no difference in difficulty between attracting, say, $1 and attracting $1 million.
Whoa. Okay. No difference.
The scale is irrelevant to the process of creation or attraction when you're tapped into that larger self. The 3% mind gets hung up on magnitude. Oh, $1 million, that's huge, that's hard.
Yeah. It seems impossible from that perspective.
But the 97% operates from a place where creation is just inherent, like gravity. You don't struggle to make gravity work, it just is. Attracting what you desire becomes like that when you align with the part of you that knows how.
That makes so much sense. If the 3% struggles with a small goal, it's using the same limited lack identity that would struggle with a huge goal. But if the 97% operates by different rules, scale is just a detail.
Exactly. Manifestation ability isn't about the size of the request. It's about the certainty of your alignment with the creator self. The 97% knows creation is a given.
Okay, this is powerful stuff. Sounds almost too good to be true in that instant way. But let's talk practical reality. We've all had those moments of clarity, right, where everything feels possible. But then life happens. Doubts creep back in. That old feeling of being small returns. The snapback. We spent years, maybe decades, practicing being the 3%.
Yeah.
How do we sustain this new identity?
That snapback is completely normal, expected even. It just shows that the old programming stored in the subconscious part of that 97% still has some juice. It's like muscle memory kicking in.
Like the old default setting.
Exactly. Which is why this isn't just a one-time insight. It's framed as training a new default operating system. You're consciously choosing again and again to operate from the 97%.
So how do we do that training? What does aligning with the true self actually look like day to day, beyond just thinking nice thoughts?
Consistency is key, and it targets the feeling of certainty, not just the intellectual idea. There's a specific timeline, often suggested. Really focus on staying aligned for 21 days straight, then push that out to 3 months.
Okay, 21 days, then 3 months. Let's break down the actual practice during that time. If it's about identity, what reinforces the identity of the 97%?
First step, awareness. You have to catch the 3% when it tries to take over. That voice of doubt, fear, lack, notice it immediately.
Okay, catch in the act.
Then consciously shift, not just the thought, but the feeling. Shift from I'm struggling with this, or I'm afraid of that, to I am the one who already has this resolved, or I'm the one for whom this is easy.
It's an internal stance shift.
It's an energetic embodiment. You practice feeling like the outcome is already done, like it's inevitable. During those first 21 days, you'd ideally set aside dedicated time each day, maybe just 15 minutes, to sit and purely cultivate that feeling of certainty, of being the larger self. You're literally teaching your subconscious this feeling. This is the new normal.
So less about visualizing the specifics of what you want and more about feeling the certainty of having it or being the person who has it easily.
That's a great way to put it. Feel the vibrational state of completion.
Okay. And then the 3-month stretch. What happens then?
The 21 days helps establish the new neural pathway, makes accessing the 97% feel more familiar. The 3 months is about solidifying it as your actual baseline identity. So the practice moves more into real-time application. Meaning, when challenges pop up in your day, a project delay, an unexpected bill, someone says no, instead of reacting automatically from the 3% with fear or frustration, you pause.
Take a breath.
Yes. And intentionally choose to respond from the 97%. From certainty.
So using your example, If I lose a potential client, the 3% screams, oh no, failure, scarcity.
Right. Panic mode.
But the 97% response would be something like, okay, interesting. This is just clearing space for the even better client who is perfectly aligned with my certainty about success.
Exactly that. You're systematically rewriting the old code, the old reactions. You're proving through action and response that the 97% is now in charge. You're not trying to eliminate the 3%, just ensure it's not the one making the core decisions or setting the emotional tone.
You're showing reality, essentially. This is who I am now. Get with the program.
You could say that you're demonstrating your commitment to this higher identification.
And if someone sticks with this, stays consistent with feeling that certainty, responding from that place, what's the guarantee? Why must reality shift?
Because it's described as an energetic law, like attracts like. Your outer world is fundamentally a mirror reflecting your deepest, most dominant internal state of being your core identity.
So it's not magic, it's physics in a way.
In a way, yes. The moment you genuinely know deep down that your true identity is this powerful, connected, abundant self, reality has to start mirroring that back to you. It begins instantly.
Instantly. But sometimes there seems to be a delay.
The perceived lag time is often just the time it takes for us to fully, genuinely stop doubting the shift, to stop wavering back to the 3%. Once the inner certainty is unwavering, the outer world reorganizes itself around it. It has no choice.
Okay, so wrapping this deep dive up, for everyone listening right now, feeling maybe stuck in that 3% mode, what's the single biggest takeaway? The thing to do now?
It really comes down to this. Stop believing the story of the little you. That part of you that insists it can't, that it needs more, that it's not ready, that it's lacking. Recognize that voice. Thank it for trying to keep you safe, perhaps, but no, fundamentally, that is not who you truly are.
And instead,
start remembering. Actively remember the greater you, the 97%. The you that already can. The you that sees no real difference between small goals and massive ones because it operates from flow, not effort. Access that. Identify with that.
Your true power is already there in that untapped 97%.
Absolutely. And maybe hold on to this final thought. The universe at its core is actually simple. We complicate it, allow it to be easy. Let the 97% do the heavy lifting.
Reality doesn't wait. The moment you shift inside.
The outside follows. Find that certainty within. The rest is just administration.